And welcome to NFLmfao TV. We're talking week 2, 2 weeks of fantasy football action coming right at you. Finally, everyone's really excited. We're going to start off the show this week with the touchdown dance for everyone's favorite, the Shizzatner. What? The Shizzatner? We are. What just? Wow. Okay, that was impressive. All right, let's. I guess we'll get right to the matchups. Oh, the Shizzatner. Welcome. It's good to have you on the program, all the way from New Hampshire.
Cheers.
It's good to get fired up right here. Let me just open this one. All right. Let's get right into the matchups for week 2. I'll start it off. Let's look at the Team Durka versus Swagger Commander. Swagger Commander now on top of the league via points at 2-0 with a victory over Team Durka.
Swagger Commander.
Yeah, Swagger Commander. With incredible performances by Miles Austin. He breached the 30-point barrier, I believe, or just about. And of course, Tony Gonzalez at the tight end position putting up 20 points. That's almost unheard of from the tight end since the great Antonio Gates days.
Didn't Swagger Commander auto-draft?
Yes, he did, and what a great auto draft it was, except for the big ouch of the year so far. Jamal Charles, done for the season, ACL. That's, I don't know how he's going to recover from that. He doesn't have esteemed backup players like Ronnie Brown or, Jay Cutler to fill in. But, Team Durka, quite frankly, had great games from its running backs, LeGarrette Blount, Peyton Hillis. They played big, but, I guess it would be the second injury report of the year. Michael Vick with a concussion left the game.
That's right.
And, one of those question marks at the beginning of the season, how high can you draft a guy who's prone to some injuries like that? But Swagger Commander comes out on top. It could be one of the last times he comes out on top for a while with that Jamal Charles.
Who is Michael Vick's backup? Is it still Kevin Cobb?
No, it's not. It's Franz Kafka. Oh wait, no, that's he wrote the Metamorphosis. That's a different guy.
That's Franz Ferdinand. No.
Oh,
you're right, yes.
Yes, that's right. Oh, okay. Let's move on to the next matchup. Shizzatner, take it away.
Wang Stranglers go to 2-0 after putting the boots to Epic Football Time. There can only be one Epic Football Time, by the way. For Wang Stranglers, Matthew Stafford, 32 big points. For speaking of injury prone.
Oh, it's good to see him
Stafford,
healthy.
the Detroit Lions. And also for Detroit, the defense put up 21 points, which seemed unlikely a year ago. For Epic Football Time, the unfortunateness started with Antonio Gates, who scored 0.0.
0-pointer. He was putting up more points than receivers to start last season. That's unlucky.
2-0 in football, 0-2 start for Epic Football Time. There we have it. Next game.
All right, let's move on to Shiva Blast versus the Andrape Squad. Andrape Squad was on top of the books after a week 1 ever so close victory over Moose Juice. But Shiva Blast takes this one with a late Eli Manning performance. As little of a performance it was, actually.
Eli
Still got
Manning.
it done. I know, not everyone's favorite quarterback in New York, but they still come out with the victory, and he still comes out with just enough points to beat Andrape's squad. Larry Fitzgerald, Kenny Britt still supporting the squad with great rounds, a lot of good catches. And of course, Andrape's squad, they pretty much just got unlucky. Everybody played pretty well. They just got outperformed. Gronkowski, actually, in the future, looking down the road, he's going to look really good now that Aaron Hernandez is out. So he might catch a couple more of those touches in the end zone. Otherwise, just an unlucky week for the Andrape squad. Moving on.
2-0 shitty football team pounded Moose Juice 108-77.
Wow, that might be the lowest total so far in the season, 77.
No, actually later we'll have a 67, but I'll get to that. Leading the way for shitty was Darren McFadden, the second year running back for the Raiders, or third year? I don't remember.
Second or third, I think.
But he put up 25 points in a nice effort for Shitty. In an unfortunate note for Shitty, Tony Romo, their starting quarterback, cracked a rib. He didn't crap a rib. He cracked a rib.
We don't know about the crap.
You guys like that later on this evening. They do eat baby back ribs.
It is a long season.
And he punctured a lung, which was unfortunate for him and the Shitty team.
He did come back in that game, which probably put up enough good points. Yeah, he made that comeback for that squad. I'm not sure if they were aware of the puncturedness at that point, or the crapping, for that matter.
Owen Moose Juice had an unfortunate performance by one of their star receivers, Des Bryant, who also put up a
He put up an over?
Oh,
man.
0.
Yikes.
Moving on.
Yes. Let's get right down to business with a surprise performance of the week. On the Rocks versus the Shizzatner. On the Rocks with breaking all sorts of records. Half of his points this week were more than two of the teams that scored 77 and 67 points. With 160 points. Unheard of.
Do they do steroid testing in this? I mean, 160. That seems
fantasy
like
steroid testing?
It seems like far too many points. Like it's almost impossible. It's like scoring 300 in basketball.
Maybe he's got some computer programmers for Yahoo hacking into the system for him. I don't know, but I mean,
I'd check the videotape or whoever it is, the CIA.
Maybe you should file a complaint with
records.
the commissioner.
I don't know.
He could look into that for you, possibly. But I mean, Vincent Jackson and Jeremy Maclin combined 60 points. That's like insane. Two receivers put up more than half of an entire team usually puts up.
They did steroids and crack before the game.
That's, I don't even know if that makes any sense at all.
Of course it does.
And even how does crack and steroids?
It makes you stronger and feel awesome. 30 points each.
Anyways, Ryan Matthews. An incredible job from San Diego. Usually it was Michael Tolbert, but Ryan Matthews came out of the gun, putting up some points for them. Didn't see that coming. I thought it was a weakness. Aside from the crack and steroids, which I'm still trying to get over in my esteemed Pabst Blue Ribbon brain of mine, the Shizzatner, quite frankly, they put up the third most points this week, and they just get cuffed with a 36-point loss.
How many points did Cam Newton get, by the way? You know that right
Cam Newton, did he get... I'm going to guess, what did he get, like 20, 21?
From what I recall reading the stats, it was like 32.
32? How many? I don't know.
67 on the season.
60? I think, what's that put him at, like number 5 or number 4?
Second most points in our fantasy league.
Wow. Who's number 1?
Tom Brady, of course.
Oh, do you have both of them on the Shizzatner?
I might.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. You might want to look to doing some deals, because I know there's some shady squads coming out there. And, you know, the Shizzatner, all-around great game. And like we mentioned with the Gronkowski before, Hernandez going to be out for a couple weeks, you know? Sprained MCL. The good thing about that is it's not a torn MCL, you know? He'll be back at some point. You know, just give him some rest. Moving on to the last game.
In the last game, 1-1, 500 Beast from the East, absolutely pounded Stanford's finest, who's going to 0-2, 122 to 67. Wow. 67 in total.
67 total?
Yes.
That's kind of low.
Leading the Beasts was Adrian Peterson, back to form with 27 points.
AP, good season.
And on the negative note, for the finest from Connecticut, Deshaun Jackson and Latanian Tomlinson combined for 4.2 points.
Ooh, those are strong candidates for points. Getting
not
nothing.
that good. They should combine for 42 points, not 4.2.
Before you get thinking of bailing out Stanford's finest, we need your $10. Just because you're 0-2 doesn't mean you can't pay now.
He hasn't paid yet?
Yeah, we're going to get on him about that.
Maybe you can let him pay 9 since his team only scored 67.
Put in a $1 deposit on the season. It's not a terrible idea.
That was very nice.
Any thoughts moving forward about the season? Teams to look out for, things that might cause some concern.
Well, on my board, I'm going to be looking out for the Wang Stranglers. It's amazing how they can go 2-0 when they're Wang Stranglers. And the shitty football team. Like, they're also 2-0, and they're a shitty football team. So those are the two teams I'm going to keep my eye on going forward. And hopefully, between Epic and Stanford's, they can find a way to turn some things around. How about from you?
I guess the one thing I'd like to see looking forward is how Swagger Commander, I'm not even sure if he's physically altered his team since it was drafted for him, how he can recover from Jamal Charles being out for the season, but so far he seems okay. And it's very possible there could be some trades amok. Possibly he can get himself back into the game. And the other thing I'd like to point out, Team Durka, Cam, this is a new season. You don't have to keep losing every game. You can start winning.
No, you don't, Cam.
Yeah, you don't have to lose. You can come out and win. And I'm looking for Cam to come out and be a better than 500 team the rest of the season. He might have just caught some tough breaks. I mean, he had to play one of the toughest teams in the first week of the season. I think it was the Wang Stranglers he played the first week. And then, who was it? I think it was, Swagger Commander. They're in first place. So, we'll look for those teams to turn it around, if they can. And we'll see you in week 3, back in Vegas for week 3. And you guys have an excellent time.
I'd also like to request free scotch at halftime for all the games and play.
I don't know about the rest of us, but you can have all the free scotch you want.
Cheers.